WCPO 9, it's a new day.
Good afternoon and welcome to a new day. February is Black History Month and we have a person who is making history here today. I want to welcome Dr. Carrita Hightower-Leary. Dr. Hightower-Leary is an award-winning senior scientist and flavor formulator at the Procter & Gamble company in oral care. She also is a champion for promoting STEM careers for young people. Welcome to a new day, Dr. Carrita Hightower-Leary.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. Now, we just want to know, just what made you decide to be a scientist?
Well, Tiana, it has been a lifelong dream, always working, experimenting, growing up. Originally, I wanted to be Oprah's dietitian.
Oh.
Didn't take that. And then I wanted to be a dentist. So part of that all is in STEM, understanding, learning, exploring. And so that was always a part of me growing up. And I was able to accomplish that here in life in daily work.
That is great. And you know what? You've had some, look, you have a doctorate, so you've had some education experiences. Can you tell me about, now you went to undergrad at Tennessee State,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And your graduate work is Kansas State,
Mm-hmm.
correct? Okay, so tell me, why did you pick those particular colleges and what was it like?
Oh, wow. I went to Tennessee State University, which is in Nashville, Tennessee. It's a historically Black college,
Yes.
part of the HBCU network. And so what I really enjoyed about that is growing up, I knew parts of my family went to Tennessee State, and really having that rooted culture and being able to be who I am. And I also had a strong agricultural science program. So that's why I majored in nutrition and dietetics, because I wanted to help people to be better and live healthier and better. While at Tennessee State, I discovered the sensory science field, which most people don't know about. And I was able to intern at Kansas State University, which led me to the graduate work there, where I get my master's, actually working on toothpaste, which I work on today, and then also my doctorate in nutrition and understanding health habits and eating behaviors among African Americans and other health groups. So it was really a lifelong journey. So a lot of school, a lot of education, but part of what I love doing is learning. So that's part of my lifelong aspiration, is to learn.
And of course, I did my research and found out you have received the Distinguished Scholarly Achievement Award in 2023. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God. Now, what does that award mean to you?
So that award is just a pinnacle of all the hard work, and just having that reward and recognition from the university, Kansas State. And so I was nominated, had to be voted on, and received the scholarship to say, here's the work that you're doing, that we recognize, and it's a reflection of all the work that has been done and poured into me while I was there at the school. So it was monumental. It was a great experience to return to Manhattan, Kansas, and receive the award. Yep.
Wow. Now, your role as a flavor chemist, do you have someone that influenced you to want to study chemistry and science?
Oh, yes. So my high school biology teacher, she was into biology, chemistry, and how to understand, everything around us are chemicals, oxygen, water. How do those things work? And part of me getting to becoming a flavor chemist was Robert Swain Jr., who was one of our top tier flavor chemists, as well as Lowell Sanker. They recruited me and influenced me. So at P&G, to become a flavor chemist, you have to go through 3.5 years of training. So you put your career on hold and to learn like different chemicals, materials, and things of that nature, and really understand what needs to be true for our products. So it was influencing and mentoring from several different places. And I just love it. I love being creating. So it's a nice blend of the art side of me as well as the scientific side.
Yeah, perfect blend. Now, what is the basic science behind being a flavor chemist and creating?
So one of the biggest things is really understanding like different oils, natural materials. So in oral care, we use like peppermint oil. What are the components of that? How does it interact with different things like surfactants, like foam, things that make it foam in your mouth? And also understanding how those chemistry perform over time. Do they stabilize? Do they start to degrade? Because what we want to do is, how did that product get to the person? So if I take it back from oral care, you think about flavors everywhere.
Yes.
So you think in the food that you're cooking, like say you're cooking spaghetti, you want those spice notes, you want that tomato note. How do you get that? And those flavors are also like, think of products on shelf.
Sure.
You know, so if I buy a can of spaghetti sauce, those flavors, and someone had to work to put those flavors and make sure they blend. You have the onion and the garlic. So all flavor is all around you.
Yes.
In everything we do. So even your favorite candy. So part of that is really understanding what the consumer need is, and then understanding the chemistry. Like, is it spearmint oil? Is it wintergreen oil? What are some cooling technologies? So really understanding how those interact is part of the process. So really knowing your chemistry, and then also the art and experience. Like, what do you want to create?
Yes, that's a lot. Now, you have a little bit examples for us, and you have a book that is the standard book. That is a big book,
Yes.
Dr. Carrita.
Yeah, so essentially this book I use to reference. So for example, if I want to go in and look for a new cinnamon oil or type of oil and understand the functionality of it, what are its properties, what is its boiling point. This is one of a reference. And what I emphasize and want to show here is that everyone has to use a reference.
Right.
Not everything is in your mind, you know. You can AI some things, but it's good to put your hands and read on it. So I'll go through, look at some materials, their properties, and consider that when I'm creating my next best flavor. Part of that is also, I bought this very basic tube, but this is how I will put samples in and evaluate. Brushing, you know, you should be brushing 2 to 3 times a day for 2 minutes. What does that experience look like? What does it feel like? Do I create delight? So my goal is to make the experience delightful, so you'll keep brushing and using the product.
Yes. So what is it that you would share with little wannabe chemists out there and people who are interested in STEM?
Oh, absolutely. One of the things I would share is really go out and experiment.
Right.
Understand, mentor, shadow, ask people questions like, what is it that you do? What it needs to be true? So a really good friend of mine is a food scientist. So they're in the plants making different food items, making, you know, rotisserie chickens taste even better. So how do you go off and ask those questions and really get strong in the basics, like the math, the science, even reading? You know, read. And so part of that is a big part of really understanding if someone's interested, you know, feel free to reach out, contact you to contact me, you know. So how do we get people like me into the community so that they can learn and see that these are some unknown, unsung professions that they can go into?
Yes, and that's why we have you on A New Day today, because all the phenomenal work you've done. And I just want to say thank you for coming and sharing all of this knowledge. This is something that everyone should know. We all use toothpaste every morning and every 3 times a day, like you said.
Yeah.
So thank you again for coming on the show. And again, congratulations on your award.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.